Hey guys, so we had our rally yesterday, April 17th. We have been doing rallies every single Saturday at 12 p.m., Confederation Park at noon. I wanted to quickly address the situation. There was a member of the protest that was wearing a shirt that another member of the protest, who it was his first time attending, did not agree with. The moment he saw that shirt, he said, "And this is why I don't do these things," and he left and threw his sign on the ground and walked away. Now, is it my job or anyone else's job to tell that person, hey, you can't wear that shirt here? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, when our rallies and our protests are about freedom, they have to be about freedom, whether we like that freedom or not. The freedom to express yourself, the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, everyone's freedom needs to be equal here. And so, no, that member was not removed. They were not told to change their shirt or anything like that, because that's not our place to do that. If people don't agree with it and they want to leave, they are expressing their freedom by doing that. But everyone's freedom needs to be on even keel here, in my opinion. Now, we know that the Taber Town Council and the Taber Times have continued to, in some ways, attack us. The Taber Times, if you've read the latest opinion piece, that is a clear and blatant attack against us after they have censored multiple letters from all of our group members. Not one of our group members' letters have been published, and they have come from multiple sources. None of them have been published, including a pharmacist who I talked to yesterday who was at our rally, who had also posted one that was just pure facts, not published. We do the protest outside. They have an opinion piece slamming us again. So he's obviously goading us, right? He's trying to take shots at us by censoring us and then continuing to put out opinion pieces railing against anti-maskers and against our kind. So, Stan Ashby, prepare yourself for another protest outside your building, because we're not stopping either. And if you want to play this game, we can play this game. Now, the town council as well, there is a front page article in the Lethbridge Herald. Now, in that article, they talk about how our petition was ruled invalid because it wasn't released within 6 months of the bylaw being passed, and because it didn't have 10% of the population's signatures. He also did a News Now article where he also did an interview slamming our petition.
The number is 10% of our roughly 8,800 population here, so 880 roughly it would have been required, and the number was 528 petitioners, but many of those were not local residents as well. And signatures had to be witnessed. Date of signature was required. Address of the petitioner was required. And or the signed statement of representative is required also. And none of those were done.
Now, this kind of stuff, these people are taking shots at us. They are. This is their way of saying, oh, see, townspeople, this is why we didn't do it. No, it's not. Because you had addressed our petition before that and never once brought up that it wasn't a valid petition. That took you about a month to research and find that part out, didn't it? But we were supposed to know that, according to you. So if you've noticed, the attitude in our protest has gone up a little bit in anger levels. When we started out, it was, we were very polite and we're still polite, but now we're telling people, all right, time to get up, time to do something, time to act. And it is time to act. Here's some video of our protest yesterday.
Is 1 hour too much to spare for your freedom?
Woo! Make you noise! Woo!
Make some noise!
Yeah!
Freedom!
Love you, appreciate it. Feels good, feels good.
Many of us here today grew up in a world that has almost nothing in common with the world we see today. We left our doors unlocked at night. We trusted our neighbors. We felt totally safe going to school or sending our kids off to school. We played street hockey with nearby friends, and we moved the nets out of the way whenever a vehicle needed to pass by. If we had the flu, we stayed home, and Mom cooked us some chicken noodle soup and tucked us into bed, and we slept it off for a couple of days, and we returned to school and we felt better. As today is my stepson's 9th birthday, many of these memories have come flooding back to me recently. For a moment or two, I even smile when I recant my childhood, but only for a moment or two. Then I think of my son and the world he is suddenly faced with in both the present and the future. The doors to his home are locked, whether there are people inside or not, for that is the world we live in, and you can't be too careful these days. He knows very little of his neighbors aside from when he sees them coming to or from their houses. He is signed up to play for sports teams, but the reality is that those teams have been put on hold, and in all likelihood will be canceled for the season. Again, he has never played a game of street hockey with his friends, and certainly not in the last year or so with these COVID restrictions, limiting the amount of people from different households you are allowed to socialize with. And if he gets the flu, well, there are 0 flu cases apparently in Alberta, but if he were to get the flu, he will be told he has to quarantine at home for 2 weeks, as will the rest of his entire class and his teacher. He will be told he has to get tested for COVID and will be asked to write down the names and phone numbers of all the people he was in contact with over a 10-day period, so that AHS can contact them and get them to quarantine as well. Woo! I know everyone here is well aware of the losses we have taken as a society and the losses our children have been forced to endure. I do not mean to rub salt in those wounds, but what I do hope to do is to show you what our goal should be for our children, to give them the childhoods that we had, but better, way better. That is why we stand here today, and why we have stood here every single Saturday since January 9th. Since you guys probably don't hear it enough, or at all, in your day-to-day lives, I have some things to say to you. Thank you for showing courage in the face of fear and standing up for my children's freedoms. Thank you for showing bravery by coming here today in public where everybody can see you and standing up for my children's rights. Thank you for being the voice of reason in these troubled and confusing times, and for being an advocate of the true north strong and free, remaining the true north strong and free. Thank you for honoring the memories of those who stood here before us and risked their lives and livelihoods to ensure that we kept ours. Let them try to take our freedoms away. We know now nothing is going to stop them from trying. Ontario extended their stay-at-home orders for 6 more weeks. They are estimating that cases are going to climb to unprecedented rates with this new variant. This variant, by the way, carries a much larger quarantine period than the original COVID. And by the numbers they are estimating it to grow to this summer, with public health agencies asking for any positive tests and their contacts to quarantine, either at home or if they don't like your isolation plan, to quarantine in a hotel, the entire country could be facing a lockdown this summer. The numbers of supposedly positively tested people and their contacts would be in the tens of millions. That's the entire Canadian population. So I say let them try. They can give out whatever public orders they want. It is our choice on whether we comply or whether we rebel against tyranny and say no thank you. We stand here today because we say no thank you. And I don't know about you guys, but I plan to say no thank you in non-compliance until I see our freedoms not only restored but improved, so that we leave the world a better place for our children than it was left for us. Thank you.
What'd you say?
You should be at home with your masks on, locking yourselves in your house. Otherwise, you are a hypocrite for breaking the lockdown rules. Thank you for breaking the lockdown rules. We appreciate the support. Thank you for breaking the lockdown rules.
We're going on a march.
We appreciate
We're going
the
marching.
support.
Coming.
What they didn't factor in was power.
We can all be at home enjoying our lockdowns if we're not out fighting for our freedom.
We're going on a march if you guys are coming.
Your Saturday not worth fighting for your freedom to enjoy your Saturday? Or are you going to continue to be a hypocrite and enjoy your Saturday and not fight for your freedom?
We're going on a march downtown if you want to come.
Oh, be at home in your lockdowns if you're not out fighting for your freedom. Freedom isn't free. People died for freedom. Don't let their death die in vain. Thank you for the support. Freedom isn't free. People died to give us this freedom. If masks, lockdown, vaccines worked, it would have worked 6 months ago. It would have worked 1 year ago.
It's like, wait a minute here.
You should be at home enjoying your lockdowns if you're not out fighting for your freedom. You should all be at home enjoying your lockdowns if freedom isn't worth fighting for. People died for our freedoms. Don't let their deaths go in vain. If masks and lockdowns actually worked, they would have worked 6 months ago. They would have worked a year ago. Stop letting fear control you.
All petroleum products. Yeah, he didn't, and not many people I didn't even realize
You should
that.
all be at home enjoying your lockdowns if you're not out fighting for your freedom. Don't be a hypocrite. If you support lockdowns and masks, go home. Stop spreading your virus.
That's good. Wasn't it?
Freedom isn't free. It's up to you and me.
Woo!
If 1 hour of your Saturday is not worth fighting for your freedom, you should be at home enjoying your lockdown, not out shopping and enjoying your Saturday. Thank you for breaking the COVID lockdown rules. We appreciate all your support. Freedom isn't free. Hello.
You don't hug?
Keep her open. We should all be at home in our lockdowns if we're not out fighting for our freedom. Is 1 hour of your Saturday not worth fighting for your freedom for every Saturday onwards? Don't be a hypocrite.
Well, that's too bad.
If your freedom's not worth fighting for, you should be at home enjoying your lockdowns. Don't let freedom just die. Fight for it.
Yeah.
We'll all be at home in the lockdown if we're not out fighting for our freedom. One is too busy to fight for their freedom until their freedom has been removed. Then they become the first to cry. Don't sit there and cry for your freedom. Fight for it. Freedom isn't free. People die for your freedom. You stood in the face of a bullet to give you your freedom. But if you work 1 hour of your Saturday, you should be at home enjoying your lockdown. Don't be a hypocrite. Stay at home and enjoy your lockdowns if freedom isn't worth fighting for. People died to give us our freedom. Don't let them die in vain. Freedom isn't free. Don't just drive by your freedom. Sacrifice 1 hour of your time to fight for freedom. People died. People faced bullets to give us freedom. If freedom isn't worth fighting for, you should be at home enjoying your lockdown. Thank you for breaking lockdown rules. We appreciate the support. Fight for your freedom. People died fighting for our freedom.
Hey, look at no, they were all hungry for us. Oh yeah.